Hello and welcome to today's practice. To begin, let's sit on our yoga mats. Just find a comfortable seat. You can sit with your legs crossed or one foot in front of the other. And we'll just start by getting connected with the feeling of the breath. So I'll get you to bring both hands over your heart. You can close your eyes down if that feels comfortable for you. If you don't like having your eyes closed, you can just kind of downcast your eyes and softly gaze towards the floor. So just do whichever you're comfortable with. And we'll just take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths. Feeling as if we're actually breathing into the heart center here. So feeling the breath as if we could breathe in and out right here at the heart center. Connecting with the feeling of your breath. Seeing if you can allow some of your awareness to drop into your body, into the feeling of your body. See if you can connect to your heart. And see if you can set an intention for today's practice to just gently let go of some of the mind activity, of some of the thoughts. And just spend some time allowing your awareness to sink into the body, to connect with the heart, and really be in the present moment. So just for this short 10 or 15 minute practice, just see if we can gently soften and bring our awareness into the present moment and let go of a little bit of the thoughts, a little bit of the thinking. Taking two more nice, slow, deep breaths here. And when you're ready, slowly open the eyes and you can release the hands. So we'll start today's practice in our child's pose. So remember, the intention and the purpose of our practice here today is not to get our poses right or to go as deep into our poses as we can. The intention is to really bring our awareness into the present moment, to really connect with our body and our heart and see if we can let go of some of our thoughts, just as we said in our intention. So with all of our postures today, even if they're too difficult or you can't quite get them right, we want to see if we can really let go of that and just see if we can really just feel into our body as we're moving and we're flowing through today's practice. So when you're ready, let's come into our child's pose. So for child's pose, we're just sitting on the heels. If this is a little bit difficult for you, you can roll up a blanket or grab some cushions and pop them in between the thighs and the calves, and that can make this posture a little bit more accessible if you feel it's difficult. The knees can be together or apart, whatever feels comfortable for you, and let's just gently fold forward into our child's pose. So you can let the head rest on the ground if that's comfortable for you, or you can pop one fist on top of the other and rest your head on your fists. So taking some nice deep breaths here. This is a really beautiful resting posture. If you're having strong or difficult emotions, this can be a very soothing place to come and rest, and see if you can just bring that awareness back into the body and release some of the thoughts. Taking some nice breaths here. And when you're ready, we'll come into our next posture, which is our cow pose. So just placing the palms of the hands onto the ground, we come up onto all fours. So here we'll take a nice deep breath in, and as we breathe in, we're going to drop the belly button towards the ground. So we're curving through the spine, tailbone shifts up towards the ceiling, and we're going to look up. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears and find some comfort here. On the next exhale, we're going to roll our spine over like a cat, bring the pelvis through, and we're going to look towards the belly button. So we'll inhale, come back into our cow pose, let the belly button drop towards the ground, look up. Exhale, roll the spine over, really feeling into the body. From here, let's pull back into our child's pose. So tops of the feet come onto the ground, pulling back child's pose. So we'll create a nice little rhythmic flow with these three poses, and we're going to move with the breath. So from here, let's inhale, come into our cow pose, belly button towards the ground, tuck the toes under at the back, look up, shoulders drop away from the ears. Exhale, roll the spine over, cat pose, really pull the spine up towards the ceiling, and then coming back into our child's pose. Let's do 3 more of these, flowing with your breath as you inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Pulling back, child's pose. 2 more, inhale, cow pose, looking up, belly button drops towards the ground, beautiful stretch for the spine. Exhale, cat. Pulling back, child's pose, last one. Really feel every movement as we inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Pulling back, child's pose. So it's a really nice little flow that you can do anytime. And from here, we're going to come into our downward facing dog. So let's tuck the toes under at the back, and we're going to press up into our downward facing dog. So making the shape of an upside down V with the body. So this posture can be a little bit uncomfortable for some people, especially if you're just new to yoga. You can walk the feet out a little bit to see if you can release the muscles through the legs. So a common mistake with this posture is to have the feet too close together. That can make this posture hard. So we want to see if we can get the feet about hips width apart. Another adjustment that you can make if you're feeling really uncomfortable in this pose is you might want to move your feet in a little bit or out a little bit. You can play around with this pose. See if you can find some comfort for yourself. So remember, it's not about getting the pose right necessarily, but just more about bringing our awareness into the body. See if you can feel your yoga mat or the carpet where you're practicing under your hands. So this is that mindfulness aspect. Seeing if we can feel the yoga mat under the feet. And from here, we're going to take an inhale and bring the left foot up towards the ceiling. So we're coming into our 3-legged dog. Then we're going to bring that left foot onto the ground in between the hands. So you might need to walk the foot up a little bit. However you get the foot there, just bring it up in between the hands. Arriving here in our runner's lunge. So for our runner's lunge, we've got our ankle underneath our knee, and then the back knee is up off the ground and that back leg is extended. So a common mistake with this posture is to have the foot too far back, and it can make this posture quite hard and the hips sink towards the ground. So if that's happening with you, just see if you can shuffle that foot forward a bit. Again, seeing if you can find comfort and stability in this pose and bringing that knee over the ankle. And then we're in our runner's lunge. If flexibility is a little bit difficult with you, you might want to grab some blocks and pop those underneath your hands. If you haven't got blocks, you can just use books or anything that's nice and solid that you can rest your hands on, and you're really just bringing the ground up to your hands to make the posture a little bit more accessible to you. So when you're ready, we're just going to take a couple of breaths here, and then we're going to move into our pyramid pose. So for pyramid pose, we're going to extend both of the legs. Again, this isn't always accessible. You can bend the knee at the front there if this makes the posture a little bit easier for you. Remember, this practice is much more about our awareness than it is about flexibility or getting the poses exactly right. So this is our pyramid pose, and we're going to turn this into a little flow with these two postures. So we're on an inhale, we're going to come into our runner's lunge. See if you can look forward, that will increase the stretch. And then as we exhale, coming back into our pyramid pose. So let's do another 3 of these. Inhale as we look forward, exhale, pyramid. Inhale, runner's lunge, look forward. Exhale, pyramid. I've lost count. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, runner's lunge, gazing forward. Exhale, pyramid pose. 1 more, feeling into every movement. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, pyramid pose. So remember, it's these rhythmic movements that help our nervous system to know that we are in a safe place, and our nervous system can calm, and this is what starts to change the brain waves, the brain activity. So from here, let's step back into our downward facing dog. However we get there, it may not be the most graceful transition. Again, if you're new to yoga. And then from here, let's take an inhale. Right foot comes up towards the ceiling. Bring the knee in towards the chest as we come into our runner's lunge on the other side. Spend a moment getting comfortable. See if we can get that knee over the ankle. Back knee is up off the ground. You can sort of picture that you're pulling the back of the leg up towards the ceiling to keep that leg nice and strong at the back. So we're in our runner's lunge on this side. We can take an inhale to look forward, deepening the stretch, and as we exhale, let's come back into our pyramid pose and flow through 4 of these. Inhale, bend that front knee, gazing forward. Exhale, extend pyramid. 3 more. Inhale, looking forward, flowing with your breath. Exhale, pyramid. 2 more. Inhale, runner's lunge, gaze forward, back leg is nice and strong. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, looking forward, lost count again. Exhale, pyramid. From here, let's step back into our downward facing dog pose. Walking the feet out. From here, we'll walk our feet into the middle of the yoga mat and just come to sit down. So we'll come into a nice cradle pose. You can keep the left leg bent, and we're just going to hold the right foot in the left hand, and then you can just pop the right hand onto the right knee, and we're kind of cradling the leg. So that might be enough for you to stay here, or if you can go a little bit further, we're actually going to bring this right foot into the left elbow, and then we're going to bring the right hand around and interlace the fingers and really just sit up nice and tall and cradling that leg a little bit. So let's take some nice deep breaths here. Feeling into the hip. It's quite a nice stretch for the hip. Rocking the leg a little bit. And we'll come into the same posture on the other side. So just pop that foot back down on the ground. You can keep that leg bent. Holding the left foot in the right hand, you can place the left hand onto the left knee and just rocking that leg a little bit. Staying here if that's enough for you, or if you can go a little bit further, let's really cradle that left leg, interlace the fingers in front of the left shin or the left calf, something around there, giving the leg a little rock, feeling into the hip, taking some nice deep breaths. And from here, let's come into our butterfly pose. So we're going to bring the soles of both of the feet together. So butterfly pose can be challenging for some people because it's quite a big stretch through the hips, and this is a very common area to be quite tight. So again, you can grab your blocks or some cushions or anything that you like and pop them underneath the legs to bring the ground up to your legs and to make this stretch a little bit easier. It can also help to bring the feet out a little bit further. The further in they are, the more difficult the stretch can be. So you can create a nice big diamond with your legs, just wherever you're comfortable. Let's place the hands on the ground behind us and just give the knees a little bit of a bounce. Taking some nice deep breaths, consciously relaxing any areas of the body that might feel tight. You might feel that you're holding tension in certain areas. And then we're going to come for a nice fold forward. Forward folds are really beautiful for when we're feeling strong emotions and we feel like we need just a little bit of nurturing. So this is a beautiful pose to come into when we're feeling like that. You can place the hands on the ground in front of you. So this might be enough of a stretch for you to stay here, to close the eyes down, or softly look towards the ground and take some breaths. Or you can go a little bit further by seeing if you can bring the head down towards the feet. You'll be curling the spine over, feeling a nice deep stretch through the back, through the lower back. Wherever you are today, wherever your body is at, honour that. And take some nice deep breaths. Reconnecting with the heart, letting go of some thoughts, feeling the ground beneath you. See if you can switch on your senses. So see if you can notice any sounds around you. You might hear some cars outside, some birds singing. Take a nice inhale, let's slowly come to sit up. And we'll just come into 2 more seated forward folds before we finish today's practice. So bring the legs out wide. They don't have to be too wide. Again, we're not working on our flexibility here. So just to where they're comfortable, you might have your knees bent, that's fine. So we're just going to bring the hands onto the ground in front of us and come into another gentle forward fold. So we're really stretching out through the hips here, through the lower back. The palms of the hands can be on the ground. Let the head and the neck relax. Taking some nice deep breaths. You can sway a little from side to side. It's okay to have fun with your practice. You might even want to walk your hands over towards one of the legs so you're getting a really nice side stretch here. Taking some nice breaths, you might be able to come down a little bit lower. So yoga is a great time to really start to get in touch with what you need, with what your body needs, and start to really learn how to listen to what it is that your body needs. So you might come into a stretch like this and think, oh, it feels amazing for my back, and you're discovering really what your body needs. So this is a great time to do that. So taking some nice deep breaths, inhale wherever we are, coming back to center. If you did stretch over to one side of your legs, if you stretched over to one leg, let's stretch over to the other leg now. If you're in the center, you can just stay where you are. You can go for a little bit of a sway. Another thing that really helps the nervous system is swaying, rocking. Another really beautiful thing to do is to hum. So we'll do some breath work throughout this program where we will do a little bit of humming, and that really calms and settles the nervous system, humming, singing, that type of thing. So taking some nice deep breaths. Seeing what your body needs today. Take an inhale as we come up, and just gently bringing the legs in. You can give them a little bit of a hand to bring them in, and then we'll just bring the legs out in front and we'll come into our last forward fold. So we've got a couple of nice options here. Just a simple seated forward fold, but some nice options for you. So you can just simply bring the legs out in front. Hamstrings are often tight, so knees are bent, fine, no problem. The more often you do this stretch, the more your hamstrings will stretch out and it'll become easier. So you can just simply fold forward, let the head hang, the neck is relaxed, taking really nice deep breaths. You might be able to close the eyes down. You also could, if you wanted to, open the legs just a little bit, so not wide like we had them before, but just a little bit. And if you've got a lot of flexibility, you can bring the arms down onto the ground, head hangs. If you've been going through a lot of stress or tension, which usually we all have, it can be really nice to give your face a little massage, especially around that brow bone there. We tend to furrow our brow a lot when we're stressed, so these little muscles, there can be a lot of pain and tension in there, so just gently pressing on those muscles or just giving them a little massage, it can feel really nice. Or around the temples there, just going all around the face if you have the ability to, or the flexibility to come down here and feel comfortable. And just one more option, if you have a yoga bolster or some pillows, some thick solid pillows or cushions, you can always bring a bolster down onto the legs and come to fold forward, which is a really sort of nurturing and comforting way to come into a yoga posture. So find your version of that today. Folding forward, maybe giving your face a little massage. Checking in with the breath. Feeling into the body. A really nice thing to do is do a little body scan, so you can go right from your toes. It's a really beautiful mindfulness practice. Going from the toes to the feet, feeling into the ankles, calves, knees, thighs. Feel your hips, the belly, the chest, shoulders. Let's relax the shoulders. Bringing your awareness into your arms, hands, fingers and thumbs. The lower back, middle back, upper back. Relax the neck, feeling the head, relax the eyes, relax the jaw, feeling any energy in the lips, any tingling or warmth, and then letting your awareness sink into your whole body, just feeling the whole body as you rest in this posture. And when you're ready, let's take a gentle inhale and come back up to center. So let's finish today's practice with some heart breathing, similar to what we started with. So just sitting in the middle of your yoga mat, find a comfortable seat, bring the hands to the heart, eyes can be opened, closed, gazing downwards. And this time when we inhale, we're going to bring the hands out, palms facing forward. So nice rhythmic movements to help calm the nervous system. Exhale, let's bring the hands back in, check in with the heart. Inhale, hands come out. Exhale, hands come back in, heart center. Let's do 5 more of these, flowing with your breath. We all have different breath rates. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. Be very kind to yourself. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more slow rhythmic movements. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. See if you can deepen and slow the breath down. Inhale. Big breath in. Long, slow exhale. Slow as you can go. Last one. Be very mindful. Inhale. Palms face forward. Slow exhale. Let's leave the hands on the heart for just a moment. Checking in. And when you're ready, open the eyes. I hope today's practice helped you to bring your awareness a little bit more into your body and into the present moment.